Welcome back, Ascenders, to the Ascended Thoughts Podcast. I'm your host, Mystic Rain. Auras. What are they? What it means to you? And how to keep them clean. That's going to be what we're going to be talking about in today's podcast episode. So an aura is your energetic field. It's your energetic field, so your actual energy, your energetic blueprint. There's an aspect of your aura that is permanent, but the majority of your aura is temporary and can fluctuate depending on what's going on in your life, your mental state, your emotional state, and your physical health. When you become disciplined and in tune, you will then have the ability to manipulate your aura in a way that you feel fits you. An aura typically extends 6 feet out in front of you. Now, 6 feet for an aura is actually incredibly far. If you are someone that is just getting into your spiritual practices, or maybe you're already deep into your spiritual practices, you would want to look at trying to control your aura to get it as close to 1 foot outside of your body, 2 feet max. Now, what happens in an aura is energy. Everything in the aura is energy. It's all these energetic particles bouncing around with each other at different frequencies and different levels, and it creates different colors depending on the frequency it exists at. And typically speaking, the higher the frequency, or the less dense of the frequency, the more sort of elevated the colors are. That's when you hit your blues, your purples, your indigos, and your whites. And then the denser the energy is when you have your darker colors like your reds and your greens. So what does this mean for you? Typically, when you go throughout your life and you are unaware of this energetic field that you possess, of your aura, you have a tendency to go throughout life with areas of gray in it, so to speak. Think about it this way. Think of yourself as a bubble. Think of you being the center of a bubble and that the bubble is 6 feet in diameter, circumference. It's all around you. Let's say maybe your bubble is kind of loose. Maybe there are some holes in it, but you keep it blown up, but you always have to patch them up. That means your bubble is weak. When you go throughout your life and you go throughout your day to day, let's say you're someone that has to use public transportation to get around. Think about the amount of people that you pass as you're walking down the street. Think about the amount of people that you pass when you get on the bus or when you get on the train. The amount of people that you pass, or the amount of different personalities you deal with, maybe when you stop by the grocery store, or most importantly, when you're at work. The amount of people that you're dealing with in your family, your friends, and their emotional states. Think about the amount of times your friend calls you and they say, oh my gosh, I got something to tell you. And then you get off the phone, you feel really drained, really tired. Maybe what they said was really negative. Maybe you feel like you were around someone that was in a really bad mood and now you feel irritable. Maybe all of a sudden you feel like you have a headache and you don't know where it came from because you were feeling fine 5 minutes later. All of those things are energy that you are walking past and picking up. When your aura is really far outside your body, you can't control who walks through it or what energy goes through it, and then what you sweep. And in a metaphorical way, but also in a literal way, you are actually combining with those energetic particles and those energetic frequencies, and those are becoming your aura. And when all of that happens, your aura becomes cloudy. It's not clean. And it actually creates rifts in your aura, or sometimes little holes, areas and pockets of weakness. And your aura can get really muddy in color and almost turn kind of gray. People that are not in tune with this, or just in general have a hard time managing their own energy levels, may deal with occasional black auras, and that's something that we don't want. Because when your aura are these colors, you end up feeling weighed down, aggravated, irritable, angry, and most importantly, you actually start to get sick. You actually start to manifest these energetic frequencies in your body, and it creates various sort of elements. And so what you want to do is allow yourself to become a lot more in tune with your body, a lot more in tune with your surroundings. When you wake up in the morning, you want to sit there with yourself for a second and examine how you feel. Think about what your emotional state is at that moment, what your mental state is at that moment. Think about how you feel on the inside of your body, in your mind, and in your heart, your emotions. What does that mean for you? And then lock that energetic signature in. If you don't like how you feel, you then make an active decision in that moment to change your narrative in order to feel better. Meaning, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed that day and you feel like, oh, you know what, it's just going to be a bad day. I know it. It's going to be a bad day. It's not going to go well. I just feel it. You're going to change that narrative and say, you know what? Today didn't even happen. I don't even know it's going to be a bad day. So I'm going to decide that today is in fact going to be a really good day and that I'm going to enjoy myself and that I'm going to laugh and that good things are going to happen to me. You're going to make a conscious and deliberate decision to switch your narrative, because when you do that and you switch your narrative into something positive, your energy and your frequency will match it. Changing your energy and frequency is actually quite simple. All it requires is will and the decision that is made. It's you making a simple decision to make it. Today it will be better. Today my frequency will be higher. My vibration will be higher. It is so. That is my will, and that is it. So you're going to change your narrative. You're going to make the decision that your frequency will stay elevated. And that's going to be the first step to working with your own vibrations and your aura. And you have to lock this in. So when you start going throughout your day and you start having experiences, or maybe you're in a rush, you don't have time to take a minute to stop and think inwardly, you already have created an energetic blueprint for yourself to sort of be aware of in your subconscious. So as you go throughout your day, what you're going to do is start to notice that you're going to have moments where all of a sudden you feel irritable. I want you to, when that happens, stop, lock into it, and then examine why that is the cause. What is making that irritation? If you can say to yourself, well, 5 minutes ago, I was fine. I didn't feel anything. And then you say, well, it's because of this situation that's making me irritated. Then you have to ask yourself, well, would this situation normally make me irritated? Or am I irritated because there are people in a situation that are irritated and then their energy probably transferred to me? And most likely what you'll find is that it will be the latter, that it's people in a situation that are irritated and then that frequency transferred to you because your aura swept it up. And then now you are vibrating or resonating at that frequency and you're starting to manifest the physical symptoms of the irritation in your body. And that is why you have picked up on it. Once you become more and more in tune with this, and you will start to notice that this will happen with all types of emotions. It won't just be negative feelings. It won't just be irritation, annoyance, anger. It'll also be happiness, excitement. Sometimes you'll get around people and you feel really excited and you don't know why, because maybe 5 minutes prior to that you felt very neutral. These will be things that you'll notice. Once you start to notice that, it'll be a skill that you can quickly zoom in to tune into at any time. And when you can tune into these energies, when you start to feel things that don't belong to you. So once you can start identifying that you were okay, something happened and now you're irritated, and that the irritation didn't originally belong to you, then that'll help you know that irritation is not actually yours. Once you become aware that there is a particular energy that's not actually yours, that you're for some reason holding on to, you can make a conscious and deliberate decision to simply let it go. Once you start letting go of these energies, your aura will begin to clean itself because you are dispelling this stuff out of your aura. And when you begin dispelling the stuff out of your aura naturally begins to become clean. The cleaner your aura is, the easier it is for you to elevate your frequency and increase those vibrations. You want to stay in a high vibe state and on a high vibe plane, because high vibe blessings start to come to you at that point. Blessings, things that are good luck when it comes to money, fortune, prosperity, happiness, bliss, peace. Those things exist at higher vibrations and higher frequencies. In order to attract those things more regularly into your life, you need to be the frequency in which you wish to attract. And a way for you to do this is to begin the process of cleaning your aura. And that starts by you coming in tune with not only you and your energetic being, but the energy that exists around you. Another really important thing for you ascenders to know is that your aura will also heavily affect your mood. A lot of you ascenders that experience being really moody usually are moody due to cloudiness that exists in the aura because it's not clean. When cloudiness starts to interfere with other energetic frequencies, and it also blocks some energetic frequencies. So even if your original energetic frequency was at a place of happiness and peace, a cloudy aura will have the ability to block those things. So situations and circumstances that will normally promote more happiness and peace into your life won't be able to reach you because the signal is blocked. Think about having satellite TV and then also experiencing a really intensely rainy, thunderstormy, cloudy type day. You can't receive that signal, but that does not mean that you don't have satellite. Everything is energy, which means everything has its own frequency and frequency levels, vibration levels. When you wrap your mind around the fact that you are simply an energetic being of spirit, fulfilling the human experience, then it isn't far-fetched to think a little bit farther and realize that you also have the ability to manipulate energy. Why can't you manipulate energy if you are an energetic being? That's what you are. That's what this whole universe is. That's what this planet is. That's what this reality is. That's what this matrix is. It's all energy. It's all frequency. And it's different vibrations and frequencies that are being emitted, which is creating the realistic 3D picture that you see in front of you. That is why everyone's reality is different. Everyone is emitting a certain frequency, and as such, that's the frequency, that is the reality that they are creating for themselves. And so that is the reality that they are experiencing. So if you are in a position and you feel like your reality could be a little bit better, or you just want something else that you can experience, having a clean aura gives you better access to your abilities to manipulate your energy and the energy around you. And when you get to that point, that's when you become a magician. That's when you become your own sort of master and creator in your reality, in your life, and decision maker in terms of where you wish to see your life. When you can understand something as an aura, as a simple concept, not something that's large and abstract, but when you understand its simplicity, the fact that it's simply an energetic frequency that you are emitting, that is around you, that forms a bubble around you, and that you do have the ability to manipulate it, to clean it, to change it. And with that, you also, on the flip side, have the ability to pick up energies that you don't want as well. You should also be able to perceive the idea that you can manipulate those energies in ways that you feel benefit you best. So, the exercise for you this week, Ascender, is for you to allow yourself to become a lot more in tune with yourself, your body, your mental state, your emotions, and your feelings. Allow yourself to catch moments when things shift unexpectedly within you, and to call out those moments that you know don't belong to you, and to call out those energies and feelings that you know don't belong to you. You know you've had an issue where you have come across other energy that does not belong to you and therefore has clouded or muddied up your aura, so to speak. When you know it's not your emotion, when you know it's not your equilibrium, and when you know that it is not something that you are thinking or feeling 5 minutes prior. If it's something that seems to be sort of all of a sudden, like it happened out of nowhere, and you don't really have a logical basis for its existence or its origin, most likely you have picked it up from someone. I also want to note the fact that someone doesn't have to be visibly aggravated around you to actually be aggravated on the inside. And that is something that you will still pick up. So if you look at your surroundings and you say to yourself, well, nothing seems to be off. These people seem to be fine. I don't understand why I feel this way. It doesn't mean that those people are actually fine. Another crucial thing with this is when you're dealing with things like anxiety or really intense worry. If you're ever in a situation where, once again, you feel like you were fine, where you were sort of in a neutral place, and then all of a sudden you feel really intense anxiety or really intense worry, and you don't know where it came from, most likely it's because it didn't belong to you in the first place. You have picked up on somebody else's frequency, on the anxiety that exists in someone else's aura. Now, the wider your aura and the farther out from your aura is from your body, the less control you have over it. So if you let it go out too far, the more susceptible you are to all of these symptoms, to all of the moodiness in the mood swings and the ups and the downs. The closer your aura is to your body, the more control you have over it. Imagine yourself being in a really, really busy city, and maybe you have a bag with your laptop in it, your passport in it, and then you put the bag down and you walk 6 feet away from it, and then you stand there and you look at it in the middle of a busy sidewalk. If someone comes and they snatch your bag and they're 6 feet in front of you, how are you supposed to get it back? How likely are you supposed to get that bag back in comparison to you having the bag only a foot in front of you? What's the likelihood of you being able to snatch the bag right back for someone that tried to take it in the first place? The likelihood is higher because that person doesn't have a running start to begin with. So you want your aura to be close to your body. And the way you get your aura to be close to your body is to will it. You simply decide that that's what your aura will be, close to your body. Now, for those of you that have a hard time with that and you need sort of more of a ritual in order to make that happen to yourself, there is a really fun visualization technique that you can use. Picture yourself on the inside of a deflated balloon, and then picture yourself blowing up that balloon. You blow it, you blow it, you blow it to make it as wide and as wide as it can go. Now picture that be your aura. Now picture yourself then letting air out of that balloon or sucking the air out of that balloon yourself and how that balloon snaps back to your body. That's a really fun visualization technique that you can do when it comes to your aura in terms of getting your aura close to your body. Ways to start doing this technique will be, let's say you are in a grocery line. You're waiting to check out, pay for your groceries. It's a really, really long line. Let's say before you got to the line, you felt fine. Then all of a sudden you're standing in that line, there's a lot of people, and now you feel on edge. Most likely, it's not you that's feeling on edge. You're probably picking up on the impatience of everyone around you and the fact that everyone is in a close space. And so most likely that impatience and irritation is not yours. And so what you need to do at that point is allow yourself to bring your aura back to your body. Because the reason why you're picking up on that energy is because it's too far out of you and you're picking up on multiple people around you. So when you're in that situation, you can visualize it while you're standing there. Take a deep breath in. And as you take that deep breath in, picture yourself sucking the air out of the balloon so the latex of the balloon snaps close to your body. You doing that can actually help you bring your aura closer to your body. Practicing this technique keeps you in tune with your energy and your energetic frequency, which is really important when it comes to monitoring your overall health, both emotional, mental, and physical. Aura is really important. This also helps prevent you from being too muddy, too cloudy, or going too gray in your aura, and that is something that we don't want. Because when you get into those spaces, you become susceptible to things that you probably don't actually want to be susceptible to. So use this week to be mindful of your aura, which means you're being mindful of your energy. And when you're mindful of your energy, you can be mindful of yourself. And when you're in tune with yourself, it'll allow yourself to continue to increase those vibrations, increase your frequency. And that's exactly where we want to be as senders. Have fun this week being the best version of you. Stay inspired and keep ascending.